Okay, guys, we got to get off the roof. These are coming down right next to us here.
New video shows journalists in Israel forced to take cover as the Iranian missile attacks rained down earlier today. It all happened around 7 p.m. local time, just one day out to Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. A live look at Tel Aviv on the right side of your screen shows all is calm after the chaos just hours ago. Those air raid sirens sent people in Israel scrambling for shelter. Reports from the Israeli military say at least one person was killed during the attacks. At a press conference earlier today, the White House says it is consulting with the Israelis on next steps.
We have made clear that there will be consequences, severe consequences for this attack, and we will work with Israel to make that the case.
And here to provide some context and analysis about this escalation is retired four-star Army General Barry McCaffrey, also an NBC News military analyst. General, it's good to see you. Thank you for being with us. We just heard the White House there say that there will be consequences. So where exactly does the U.S. go from here?
Well, it's hard to say. I think the Biden administration has been very determined to try and tamp down the forces that are moving us toward regional war. Secretary of State Tony Blinken, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and the President and the National Security Advisor have been tireless in trying to argue away from escalation. It's not working. Israel, to put it in context, since 7 October and the brutal attack by Hamas which killed or abducted hundreds of Israeli citizens, the day after that attack, Hezbollah started attacking Israel also from the north. They fired more than 9,000 missiles. And now we've seen the second Iranian attack on the state of Israel. The next steps will be crucial. I would be astonished if the Israelis didn't go after either the Iranian nuclear program or potentially their oil industry. So there's dangerous days ahead.
Yeah.
So it's clear that things are really escalating there. So how does the U.S. now balance supporting Israel and maintaining distance from the conflict while letting Israel operate as a sovereign state? It sounds like it's a pretty complicated situation.
Yeah, I think they've done quite well at it. Look, it's not America's war. Israel is a democracy, a capitalistic state, rule of law, equal opportunity for women, and they're surrounded by enemies. I mean, Syria is an implacable enemy of Israel, as is Lebanon. The Hezbollah forces 100,000 fighters, 120,000 rockets. Hamas, which has largely been destroyed in Gaza, is still conducting guerrilla operations. The Houthis to the south are firing missiles at Israel. So they're a beleaguered state. They see their existence is at stake. They're going to take action. The U.S. will have very little leverage. You know, it's not just domestic U.S. politics. It's Israel has so much at stake. So it's painful. One can only hope that Hezbollah, that's the immediate dire threat, backs off the notion of conducting mass strikes on Israeli cities. If they do, the Israelis will be forced to go in on the ground with a massive ground incursion. It'll be a bloody mess.
Yeah, it's very concerning, so much at stake. And as you mentioned, General, the Biden administration has been trying to avoid a regional war, but we know that President Biden is a clear supporter of Israel. So, you know, this relationship could get tested, right? And where does he draw the line?
Well, look, the best thing the U.S. can do is to try and ensure that Iran doesn't go escalating to an all-out war with Israel. And that's why we have considerable amounts of naval and U.S. Air Force power in the region. It is a significant threat to Iran. There's no question if we turn the United States Air Force and naval air loose on Iran within 30 to 90 days, we would destroy their oil industry and probably nail much of their nuclear program. They don't want that to happen. And by the way, none of the participants in this conflict want a regional war. There's an element of 1914 and the approach of World War I to what's happening. So the Biden administration, again, I think is determined to try and prevent an all-out cataclysmic war, regional war in the Middle East.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's hoping.
All right.